sorry, it's an excerpt from a memoir I'm working on. It's taking me forever to get finished. Okay. Not sure how the conversation will begin or end. I nervously dial Mr. Carter's telephone number. It rings once and then twice. He picks up. With a thick country accent, he says, "Hello." I quickly imagine him. White, late 40s, overweight, wearing faded denim overalls and a dirty white t-shirt. My heart pounding and my body shaking, I collect myself and say, "Hi, is this John Wade Carter?" He says, "Yes, it is," in a way that also says, "What the hell is it to you?" I continue. "This is Alicia Walker. My maiden name is Everett. I'm Wayne Everett's daughter." There's a silence as he tries to bring my name to memory. There's a silence as he tries to bring the name to memory. He says my father's name a couple of times. Wayne Everett, Wayne Everett. It doesn't ring a bell. Do I have the wrong number? I try again. Wayne Everett Rains. My father had 2 last names, one given at birth, another thrown on after death. There's a brief pause. I shoot out. "I just want to ask a couple questions." I say this as quickly as possible, in fear that he'll call me a nigger as he had my father before killing him in cold blood, and then hang up the phone. He lets out a remorseful sigh. "Oh, I see where you're going with this." He composes himself. This isn't going to be an easy conversation for either of us. Relieved he hasn't hung up, I scan my mind for questions that I have had as long as I can remember. Nothing. Overwhelmed, I begin to cry. The only question I can muster up is why. Well, I was on drugs and heavily loaded up on alcohol. I was young, I didn't care about living, I had no respect for myself or anyone else for that matter. I wasn't a racist then, and I'm no racist now. His excuses pour out almost as if he's reading from a teleprompt. He pauses. I say nothing. He continues. I had a real anger problem back then. I almost killed a couple of my own brothers and sisters for rubbing me the wrong way. I was really messed up back then. He's rambling. I sit in silence, wanting and needing it to make sense. It doesn't. I wipe my tears and clear my throat. "Do you feel as if your 7-year prison sentence for murdering my father was fair?" "No, it wasn't fair," he said. "I should have fried. But me frying for killing your father wouldn't have changed the situation. To be honest with you, my lawyers knew it was best to keep me quiet. I'm a very outspoken and honest person." His tone changes, as if he's proud of his outspoken and honest quality. I'm hurting. The pain radiates through my body. I'm lost. I think about hanging up, but I don't. I know this conversation is a vital part of my salvation. I change the subject because it pains me to hear him continue. I ask my final question. "Do you have kids?" He replies, "Yes, I have 3. For a brief second, I envy his children. I think about them and wonder how they grew up if they knew their father murdered a man. Through my tears, I tell him I've never been to my father's grave. "They didn't ship his body back to California?" "No, he wasn't from California. He served in the Air Force and was stationed in California," I say. I feel as if he's trying to assemble an apology of some sort. He doesn't. He seems to know that a simple "I'm sorry" would not suffice. Instead he says, "That's right. He was in the military. That's another reason why I feel bad about what I did. I support our troops." I've heard all I need to. I politely thank Carter for his time and proceed to end the call. Before I hang up, he says, "Well, if you ever need to know anything else, feel free to call again." Then, in the most hesitated manner, he adds, "I'm sorry." I hang up. The phone reads 7 minutes, 49 seconds.